Welcome back to PSA Commanders Network, also the Protest Sports Network. It's your boy Tony A Tech. Back in another video, man. ATJ Word of God for him. I will be talking. Got my man Juan got it. One guy talking sports, you already know. Shout out to bro. How you feeling, Juan? What's going on with you?
What's good, Brody? How you doing? I appreciate you for having me on as always. A great time to come up here and chop it up with you about our commanders. Computer is trash right now, so I'm thugging off of a mobile device. So if it don't look as good, my apologies, but I'm always ready and excited to talk about the Skins football team, Commanders. So let's do it, man. Appreciate you for having me on.
For sure, for sure. If y'all want to know today's scripture and verse of the day, go look at Matthew 6:33. There you go. I'll be prioritize God's kingdom, and it'll be added on to you. Amen. So, let's get like an off season recap tonight. Ain't we nothing crazy? We talked the off season and then we like about the off season and uh respond to Leonard William's spazzing on Larry Tunzel and Marshall Lattimore about the not 10 OTAs and what's the expectation we got going into mini camp, mandatory minis. And a response to a couple of videos Juan did on our rookie class because he did a very good job on talking about our rookie class, specifically Jalen Lane and Jacory Krosky Merritt. So once all those videos you made too tonight and get your more in depth opinions about these players. And yeah, that's pretty much about it, bro. We don't get it all night, but first of all, also we talk about the schedule a little bit too. Just saying like our favorite game we want to watch this year and why and stuff like that. So first off, first off, what was your thoughts on our overall offseason for the Commanders, and what is something that you wish that we did do or we can still do that we haven't done yet?
Yeah, so my overall thoughts on the off season this year was it was very interesting. Because honestly, nothing caught me by surprise. Because when you're a team on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl and you're that close and you lose in that fashion, you have nothing else but to upgrade in the manner in which we did. And even before the offseason started, Adam Peters set the foundation of how he was going to approach off seasons moving forward with getting in season trades like Marshawn Lattimore. So we always knew we were going to be in the market for big name players at certain positions. But then again, like I said, when you finish the season to who is your division rival and ultimately ending up being a Super Bowl champions, you have to go out and you have to upgrade at major positions. So we already knew what we were going to do. It was just who we were going to get. And we ended up addressing the wide receiver position, Debo Samuel. Right, obviously that was an acquisition that a lot of people knew and thought was going to happen. It may not have been the first option for some people, but it ultimately being an option nonetheless. And I think he's going to be really good as well. And then when it comes to the other trade that we made, Larry Tunsil, that's something that you need. When you have the quarterback of the future on your team, you don't have to worry about that anymore. The next biggest thing is protecting that quarterback so he can be upright and be able to help your team and lead your team to victories. And getting the blindside protector for your quarterback is the biggest thing to do, which Laramie Tunsil is. And Laramie Tunsil is obviously one of the better left tackles in the league. He didn't come off with the best season with the Houston Texans. However, he's still one of the best left tackles in ball. Like that's why you trade for him and you take a chance on a guy like that in hopes that he comes and delivers the same type of success that he had for the most part of his tenure in Houston. And then when you go to the free agent class, uh, again, it's another followed up season in which it's not a whole bunch of big names, but it's more so guys that you know are going to come in and play their hardest and go out and be a team player and contribute to the success of this team. I.e. Will Hurst, right? Like Will Hurst is probably not the biggest name. It's probably a move that you may have questioned in the moment, considering the fact that we had Jeremy Chin and Jeremy Chin was well liked by this team. But after doing the research and understanding how he fits and how good he really was in New Orleans and how much of a key piece he was to that secondary, you understand, okay, we may have actually got somebody that can actually be an enforcer and racer on the back end to pair with Quan Mine. And then you go to a guy like Jacob Mine. you don't really know what you getting out of that guy, right? He's like, who is this guy? He doesn't really have the statistics to back up reasoning to go out and get him. But he's a guy with high upside. You lose Dante Fowler to the Dallas Cowboys, you don't resign him. So your edge rushing room is something that is lacking at the moment, and still is to this day. But you take a chance on a guy like Jacob Martin to maybe pair up with Dorrance Armstrong, Javante Jean Baptiste, and what maybe have you. And then you look at Javon Kinlaw as well, a guy that is here on the got the biggest money out of all the free agent acquisitions, to be honest with you. And he's here paired back up with Adam Peters as well, and I'm expecting the big year out of him, Jonathan Jones, and everyone else that we got, Foster Sorrell, Nate Herbert. So long story short, I know I was rambling. The offseason definitely went exactly how I expected it to go, considering the fact that we were that close to going to the first Super Bowl since God knows how long before I was born. So it definitely is headed in a positive direction. Now, one thing I wish they would have upgraded is what everybody's going to say, and I'm going to allude to it. I already did earlier. Is edge rusher. Like that's something that we definitely. At least going into the season, feel like we need. You don't know what it's going to end up being like at the end of the season. Jacob Martin may absolutely tear it up. Devontae Jean Baptiste may take that second year leap. Dorrance Armstrong may be good. He may give you 8 sacks, right? Cleveland Furrow. And obviously Frankie Louvu, who's a linebacker but can be used as edge rusher. It's so many different things. That's why I think we're gonna lean more over scheme than actual player names. But if I had to pick one right off the top of my head, it would definitely be edge rusher.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. You said the trades were huge. Getting Larry Tunzel, I think he's still a top five tackle in the game. Acquiring Debo Samuel, not the biggest Debo guy, but I do get the fit and Cliff's offense being a Swiss Army knife you can put in the backfield. You can run the ball with him. You can do jet sweeps and all these, creative things you could do with Debo. So I understand why they acquired him. And the fifth round pick wasn't nothing to scoff at, but also wasn't nothing to miss either. Um, Getting Will Harrison free agency, I like that move. I actually do like it. When he said doing further research and watching the all 22s and watching how good he was in coverage compared to Jeremy Chin. He's a definite upgrade in coverage over Jeremy. But I do think Jeremy's a better run defender, but apples and oranges. But Jeremy got twice as much money as Will Harris. I think we'll get the same caliber type of football player. So I think we're fine there. A little older though, but is what it is. As for a guy like you said, free agency, Dedrick Wise, another guy I think they can probably go issue 4 or 5 sacks too. Another guy you want to keep your eye on within the edge rushers. I like the Jacob Martin pickup because he's explosive. He's an athletic freak, but just hasn't been unlocked yet. So we'll see how he plays and how he uh, assimilates himself with these players and how he impacts the game this year as a situational pass rusher, similar to Dante Fowler was last year. And we got a lot more out of Dante than a lot of people expected. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one was expecting 10 ass from Dante Fowler Jr. I know I wasn't. So it was a good look. And hey, bro, it is what it is. Wish him nothing but the best with the ops until we play them. And I want Dante Fowler shut down after that. Cool with that. What still we did this also like we talked the draft separately. I didn't like the draft too, but I mean, overall we had a solid offseason. We picked up a lot of players in a lot of different positions. We got a lot deeper positions like wide receiver, corner. We definitely improved the defensive line, the interior defensive line room. I like what we did with Javon Kindle. We could play outside and inside. Eddie Goldman, shout out to Eddie Goldman, our FCA alum. He went to French Collegiate Academy with me back in those days. Shout out to Eddie Goldman, part of that 2012 class. And been following Eddie his whole career. I think Eddie's a great run stuffer. Eddie can bring some in the pass game too as a pass rusher, but that's not really his game at age 31, but he's still great against the run. So Eddie's going to be a very impactful player here as well. Shout out to Eddie Goldman. Little bias. He went to my high school, but shout out to Eddie though. Eddie will be a dog for the Commanders right now. I think we did a lot of good things. A lot of older players. I wish we had some younger guys in here too, but that's what the draft's all about. Oh, speaking of the draft, what was your favorite draft pick? Outside the first round pick.
Oh man. I'm doing these breakdowns, so I'm really starting to get a good feel of the class, and I don't want to be too biased about it, but man, it's not the most notable names that we draft. However, once you do your research and understand the pick, Adam Peters is such a genius, man. But I say
Yeah.
that to say, by far, it's Trey Amos. It's Trey Amos. Um, and that's saying a lot because I was pro keep the cornerback room the same. Love Mikey on the outside. Marshawn Lattimore was gonna bounce back, and I really like Noah Igbenogany in the slot as a starter. So that says a lot for somebody who was fine with how the cornerback room is. But Trey Amos came in immediately, and OTAs blew me away. And then when you see the film, you quickly see, okay, yeah, this guy's built for the NFC. And he's built for the NFC. He's more specifically been able to have to battle guys like CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown. He's the perfect cornerback, feisty, physical, has great size on him, like great length pause. Like he's the perfect cornerback for this division and for this conference. And then after that it's Bill, man. I did his film today, and that guy gives
Oh,
me 2020 Antonio Gibson vibes. Somebody said they agree with me. Somebody said I'm tripping for comparing to Antonio Gibson. So to someone compared him to a bigger, I think, faster, or like a bigger, stronger Devin A chain. So man, his tape, this is it's very good to watch. And man, I like everybody, bro. I'm sorry, like Cam and John, I haven't got to
no, I
him yet, but
understand.
I liked him from the person he was. And after seeing that Jalen Lane film, dog, like he is much more than a punt returner. But that's how he's gonna make his bread and butter to start off. But that dude, I could see him catching 5, 6 bombs this year, man. I could really see it. So I know I rambled, but I loved every pick, bro. Honestly, but
No,
Trey Amos number one.
if I would pick what I like the most outside Josh Carly would be definitely Trey Amos. He gives me it's gonna be a little controversial, but he gave me Jalen Ramsey vibes, bro. Back early his early days. Can
Mm,
press, can get in your face, get disrespectful with it. Um, Great coverage corner. I know one weakness he does have in his game is that sometimes when he's out of position, he lacks recovery speed. But outside of
mhm.
that, like I don't think Trey Amos would be out of position a lot anyway. So I'm not really worried about that at all. I think he'll be a dog. I think he'll be a dog. I honestly, for real, he can be quarterback one on this team. I know a lot of people, Marshawn Lattimore, I get it. He get in the bag and all that. I understand that. But before his rookie contract's over, Trey Amos will be the number one corner on this team. And he's going to be a hell of a quarterback one for the Commanders for years to come. And I like that pickup a lot. I love Jalen Lane. I think he's a slot machine. I do think he'd be a great punt returner as well. And I think it's a solid pickup. The King Madrino pick, I don't love as much as I thought I would, but I do have the athleticism and things of that nature. And then with JSM, I do want to talk about him separately because I want to know your opinions on him, specifically him. But yeah, I like him too. Let's get to the comment section real quick. So I do want to see some comments here that I want to talk about. Um, don't think I forgot one. I don't know. I don't know what Jared's referring to when it comes to that.
Huh?
He said, Jared said, don't think I forgot one.
Oh, that's Juris. What's good, Juris? Been a minute. He probably have another comment referring to that. Hope
What's
all
some,
is well, my guy. It's been a minute.
uh,
Oh, he talking about my old intro song.
yeah,
Yeah, my old intro song that I made, like the one I put up there. Um,
yeah, I think I'm ready.
so
Ready
yeah,
for the Eagles. Do you think we ready for the
gotcha.
Eagles? That's a good question. Shout out to Mr. Bojangles for that one. Do you think we're ready for the Eagles?
Um, in terms of what, like,
Do you think we can compete with them on a consistent basis?
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure, for sure. I definitely do think so. I think I'm not gonna say the NFC Championship was an anomaly, but like and I'm not making excuses for that 55 to 23, but it's like a lot has to go wrong like it did in that game on a consistent basis for us to not be competitive on a consistent basis. So If you telling me every game a receiver's going to drop a fumble a ball, running back's going to fumble a ball, etc., like Saquon Barkley's going to go off, then you know what I'm saying. Um, I definitely could see us not being competitive, I guess, but that's just not realistic. So I definitely do think we have the team to be competitive. And speaking of Jarvis, if he was still in here, man, I wish he was still on because I know I would love to see how he feels about this team. This is quite frankly a team we've dreamed of. You know what I'm saying? So no more Taylor Heineke and Ryan
And,
Fitzpatrick. You know
uh,
what I'm saying? So
no more of that. No more of that.
yeah, yeah.
thank,
Long story short,
thank
they
God
did
for
that,
J Day.
right?
Thank God for five, man. Thank God for five.
Yep.
I think we're ready to compete with the Eagles too, to a certain extent. I do believe that we can give the Eagles some work. But that that NFC Championship game was not a good look at all. But I think something we can yeah, I think the point of the NFC Championship game was we lost our own mistakes. We had four turnovers, including three in the first half. You're gonna lose like that a lot of times. And I think we because play mistake free football, we could beat anybody, that includes the Philadelphia Eagles. We had a game we turned the ball over 5 times and won. So and we had Jalen Hurts. I don't care. We won the game. I don't care. So um, hopefully we can play more mistake free football versus Philadelphia and I'll put us in positions to actually defeat them. So and Philly got a little weaker. They lost guy like Josh Sweat, they lost Bill Williams, and they got like Jalen Hunt and the kid they drafted in the fifth round replaced those guys. But they traded Bryce Huff away, which is they needed to do that because Bryce Huff is trash, but it was trash for them anyway. But hopefully they are a little weaker this year. But they still got Sean Barkley and Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and all that. So we'll see how that matchup goes. I'm not worried about them per se, but I want to talk about this separately. But you asked a question, so we can get to it. How you feel about Ja'Cory cross-game merit, and do you think he'll be running back one week one of the season?
I love Ja'Cory Krosky man. I definitely think he has the potential to be the starter running back for this team here and in the future. But the film today, I did the breakdown. It was a joy to watch. He give again. I will die on that hill. I'm not saying he's Antonio Gibson. In fact, I think he's probably better because he's a pure running back. Gibby was a receiver, then a running back. Um, he gives me 2020 healthy 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys, Antonio Gibson vibes, and some more. Physicality, being able to run through contact and keep his balance, the ability to. He had a catch that when I watched one of his plays today, like it looked like a receiver. And obviously his burst to just get through the hole, make a decision. I love it. So not week one. I think it's still Brown Robinson's team, unless he just has an absolute crazy camp. I see him splitting carries with the whole running back room. Because you got to think about it, right? Like, unless this guy is just killing it, they're still gonna find ways to get B Rob the ball. Still gonna have to find ways to get all Stackler the ball, right? And then you got Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols. Like that's why we have five backs technically, and they say we're tied to Nick Chubb. What space do we have for Nick Chubb? Don't get me wrong, Nick
Yeah,
Chubb is a freaking dog, and I don't know if his career is over due to the injuries, like in terms of him being the old self. But it's like we have no space for that. We already got five backs, and me personally, I don't even know if we keeping. I personally would keep three, but they probably gonna end up
I'm
keeping
going to
four.
keep two. They
Huh?
might keep four. They might keep four. I'll probably keep them three too, but they might keep four. They might keep
Yeah, man.
four.
So not right now off to start the season, but I do think at some point he could, especially if B Rob, because B Rob's gonna start the season hot. If he can't, carry it through the whole 18-week season in the playoffs, then probably so at some point he will.
Yeah. I like Jacory a lot. I think his game is going to translate to the NFL well. He has speed. He has contact balance. He can catch the ball at the backfield. I do think eventually he will be the three down back, the three down back we've been looking for the Commanders for long term. But for this season, I still think it's Brian Robinson's job to lose. I completely agree with that. I just don't see them getting rid of B Rob, or I don't know why people are pressing to get rid of B Rob. B Rob, in the first 5 weeks of the season, looked like a top 10 running back. If you want to really look at it, dude had two 100-yard games. He had two touchdown games. He was out here eating. And then he got hurt. If everything went left. But B Rob was solid, man. Beginning of the season last year. Just the consistency and the health is the problem with B Rob. But I'm not saying B Rob is a world beater enough like that, but I do think right now he's a running back one. Jacory has to take that job from him, and I don't think he will. Because also DQ likes B Rob. Like we seen how he pulled B Rob to the side when he's struggling and show him what he could do, and he bounced back versus the Lions that division round game. So DQ likes B Rob, Cliff likes B Rob. It seems like B Rob is a different type of focus now. He's trying to get a contract extension, so he's in the contract season. We'll see how it goes. But I do believe for this season, B Rob will be the guy for most of the year. And then next year, Jacory will be able to take over if they don't re-sign Brian Robinson Jr. As for the Nick Chubb thing, like you said, what space? What space? What does Nick Chubb have left in the tank? Let's be honest. What's he have left in the tank? I heard we were issuing J.K. Dobbins. He always gets hurt. So we try to keep talking B-Rob getting hurt and not being healthy, but we talking signing two guys. One guy has multiple ACL tears. Another guy got an ACL tear, I think, an Achilles tear. What are we talking about? So I think the running back room is going to be as is, and I think Jacory's going to get a nice bit of carries, but B-Rob is going to be the RB1. And then next year, if B-Rob were to walk, they'll go ahead and have Jacory be the starting running back of the team. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. My man Jarris hates B-Rob. I don't know what the hate for B-Rob is for Jarris. I won't talk about that. So look at the schedule. Let's look at the schedule real quick. What is your favorite away game and your favorite home game?
Man, every game my favorite game because it's bump every week. You know what I'm saying? There ain't one week we can just go in there and be slumming. It's no soft spot. Every game is good bump. So I think every game is my favorite game. But nah, all seriousness, there's so many to choose from, man. It really is. Yeah, man. I'm looking at it right now. Man, I'm really. I want to say for that Falcons game, looking at me. Chiefs game, obviously going up against Mahomes. But if it's like a non-division game, not Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, I would probably go with. I go two. I go Falcons because I want to see Michael Penix Jr. in part two. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go one. I'll go Broncos. Why not? Broncos. Definitely Broncos for sure. I'm ready to see Bo Nix jump Jaden Daniels head to head. That's an 8:20 game. You're gonna
Prime
be
time
lit at
football
that
too.
jump.
Prime time. Right.
You're gonna be lit at that jump.
My number one home game is not division games.
Oh, I was supposed to say a away game too, right?
You said the Falcons.
Okay, yeah, that can go with my. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
So for me, my number one home game is not a division. Will be the Lions. Come get your get back, bro. Come get your get back. Come on. Come get your get back. Oh, we had Aiden Hutchinson. Okay. We had this guy. Okay. Ben Johnson called a bad game. Okay. Come get your get back. Come on. Come get your get back. Come on, Lions fans, get your get back. So instead of talking crazy on Twitter.
Nah, for real.
Yeah, so that'd be my favorite home game. It'd be my favorite away game. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely the Falcons. That's gonna be fun. Michael Pittman versus JD5. That's gonna be a fun one. And that might be one we might see in person. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I definitely want to see that one. But yeah, dang, bro, we covered a lot already. Cover your favorite
Yeah.
draft pick. Oh yeah, okay. So we talked JSN with B Rob. We talked about schedule very briefly. So what kind of edge rusher? Who would you prefer to sign, or the guys that are out there? Would you
Honestly,
switch
man,
out?
I personally want to upgrade the edge rusher department. Don't get me wrong, but at this point, I feel like they just gonna stick with what they have, and at that point, I'm riding with that too. Actually, honestly, because not that it ain't nobody else out there, but it's no realistic options that I think is good. Maybe Jadavion Clowney, but at this point, I think they're just gonna rock with what they have, man. And I'm on that same camp, bro. It's June, bro. Like it's not February no more. In March, it's June, bro. The season, July, August. Shoot, but training camp next month, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really nothing.
For me, I think Zadarius Smith is an upgrade on what we have. Um, Jadavion Clowney is too. And with old man Vaughn. I'm good on old man Vaughn. Old man Vaughn ain't hitting on nothing no more. Even old man Vaughn got a little juice, but I don't want old man Vaughn, bro. He's just too old, bro. He's like 85 years old. I'm good. But Zadarius Smith is a guy I would keep my eye on if like they don't like the guys they have after mandatory minis. They might see how they run and 11 on 11 stuff like that. They don't like how they been running. Maybe it might sound a guy like that, but I completely agree with anything what they got though. Just because it's June, bro. For all, it's Flight React's best month of his life. I'm sorry. Shout out y'all Flight Reacts fans out there. It's Flight React's best. You know what I'm saying? It's Pride Month, so the command might be too proud for the side of edge. Let me stop the foolishness. In all seriousness, it is June. The season's around the corner. Are you really geeked to sign somebody now, though? Like, I don't. I don't think so. I think if they don't like what they have, they'll look at Zadarius Smith and look at Jadavion Clowney, but more than likely they're gonna roll with that. I still agree with that. I still agree with that. My fault. No, I'm good weapon. Hmm, hmm. If you look at the roster now, what would be a surprise cut for you?
Mm.
That's a good question.
Who's on that bubble though? Cause like I would say like a guy
Percy
like
probably on a bubble, I think.
who?
Percy Butler would be a guy that made a roster last year could be on a bubble.
I mean, but his special teams ability is a big reason why he's still here. So
Yeah.
unless we got somebody to replace that,
I
that
think Tyler
that
Owens can replace that.
wouldn't you want him to go alongside Percy Butler?
That's what they them sound well. So let's say that's like got Quan, Will, got a good point. You could probably remind
Will, Percy, Tyler,
yeah, Mercy, Tyler, and Revo, all call Revo.
Montgomery
Yeah,
Reeves.
Quan and I kind of
I
want
mean,
more as just specials though, man. I think guys can always play specials.
I know this may not be a popular surprise cut because I know a lot of people probably can see him being cut. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb and say Michael Gallup because I think he is going to make this roster, and I think he's going to contribute to the success of this team in the wide receiver department. So I would go. I
Okay.
would definitely go with one being Michael Gallup. I'm looking at the roster now. There's not a lot of guys that somebody's
Scream.
going.
Oh my God, you gotta get rid of him, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
somebody got to get cut. But like all the guys that are here, I could see being
Cleveland
getting cut.
Farrell be a guy. I think I'd be surprised if he got cut.
Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah, that's the guy I'd be surprising.
But like looking at these rosters, like Timothy McKay, Robert McDaniel, like these guys, I can see them being cut, right? Chris Moore, KJ
Yeah.
Osborne, I can see being cut. Let's see, maybe Chris Paul, because like you run out and you got Nate Herbig and stuff like that, so that maybe that made Chris Paul expendable. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see, Cole Turner's still around. I didn't even know that.
I think he a guy I'd be put on the practice squad for sure.
Carlin
Um,
Vigorous. Man,
Jeremy
I
McNichols,
just looked at oh
Jeremy McNichols.
I don't know the reason why I didn't put Jeremy McNichols because I don't gonna say I expect that, but I've been saying that on my channel for a minute now. Like he's probably the guy I would cut out of the whole running back. So that's why I didn't put him as a surprise. So the only surprise probably would be maybe Chris Paul, and even that isn't a surprise. But like, bro, I just scrolled up and down
He's
and
not
looked at a
making the
list.
roster, but barely, so that wouldn't be a big surprise to me either. Um, yeah, I don't see nothing in the tight end was a surprise. I don't see nothing. They're not gonna cut Marcus Mariota. I got KJ Osborne actually making the team, which is kind of funny. I mean, my six receivers I had were Terry, Debo, Jalen Lane, Luke McCaffrey, KJ Osborne, and Noah Brown. I think those were my six. So Michael Gallup could be a surprise one for me too. If I think about it. There's not a lot of surprise cuts. That's just not. Just not.
Yeah.
Maybe Noah Ibenagami. That could be a surprise if they like Robert McDaniel that much, but I doubt they cut a Noah Ibenagami. I just thought he's great depth, but I cut him. I mean, that's stupid. So I think his roster's pretty much set, man, to be honest. I think maybe 3 or 4 roster spots it can account for.
hmm
Think about it. Mill said KJ Osborne and Percy Butler.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like
It's
those
probably
aren't surprise cuts, you know?
Percy could be a surprise because he does play on specials, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, we did this!" It'd be like, intriguing. My Percy, but it wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, what the hell are we doing?" Like it wouldn't be that for me. So um, it wouldn't be that for me at all. That's all the question I got for you tonight, Juan. I ain't gonna lie, man. I think we kind of breezed through this. We attacked this kind of hard. Pause.
Yeah.
Super pause, man. Super pause.
I guess you
Uh,
could talk about Lionel Willingham's
let's
comments.
talk about that real quick. So Lionel Willingham had a couple of things to say on X this past couple weeks. I know you did a couple videos on these things. One was the Caleb Williams, James Daniels comparison. Another thing was sound about B Rob and JSM and talk how we should have rely on a 7th rounder. And the other one was spazzing on Larry Tunzel and Marshall Lava for that being at OTAs. Let's start with the spazzing out on Larry Tunzel and Marshall Lattimore. Do you think that was warranted? The fact that Larry was at U Street, prior privilege, popping bottles, living his best life.
Uh-huh.
If I'm taking a guess from my outside days, Uh, he probably had privilege. Ain't nothing on U Street but privilege. It's U Street is trash. It's called it. It's trash. It's ratchet. No one's to be down U Street. So if he was at U Street, he had you at privilege. Probably spent 10 bands on like 5 sections. Probably pop all your Ace of Spades bottles, live his best life, and not go to OTAs. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it was warranted for Lil to feel how he felt, or do you think that he was kind of tweaking right there?
Yeah, man. So I understand where he's coming from for sure, right? Like I get it. You voluntary in sports is not really voluntary, at least on like the high school level, right? Like coach tell you, hey, yeah, voluntary workouts. We got workouts tomorrow. It's voluntary. You know, deep down inside, he wants you to come because he wants to see who's really dedicated, who's really willing to put in the extra work and not take an opportunity, even though it technically isn't penalized against you. It is, right? So I understand where he's coming from in that sense. However, these players are players that were at the top of their games. Granted, I understand Marshawn Lattimore didn't come off the best this season that he's had. He dealt with a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So I get it, right? He wanted them there, but look at his history in Houston. Larry Tunsil didn't show up. Marshawn Lattimore probably didn't show up for OTAs in New Orleans either, voluntary that is. My biggest concern is if it gets to mandatory and they're not there, then that's my concern. That's when I start to ask the different questions. What's going on? Why aren't you there? But voluntary for a guy that's basically in what year 9, year 10, and Marshawn Lattimore also about to hit a decade if he hasn't already. 2017, I think 2016, 2017, he was in that draft class. So these guys are vets, and I'm sure they're doing all the right things to take care of their bodies, to work out, do what they need to do. So I'm not really stressing it. I get his point. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, I'm not really stressing these guys. I'll be more concerned if they don't show up when it comes to mandatory training camp.
Yeah, I completely agree with that sentiment. I was a little disappointed in a guy like Laramie Tunsil because you're new, like you just got here, bro. Like, you should want to assimilate with these teammates. You should want to get to know Jada, and you should want to hang out with these guys and work out with them, things of that nature, and get to know Debo. You should want to do that. And Debo been wanting to assimilate himself with these guys. In fact, Laramie Tunsil just living his best life. Which, bro, I ain't mad at. like Lil Hill said though, this ain't Houston. And excuse my French, they say he traded his ass for a reason. So I'm just saying that he should definitely want to be around. If I was new, I won't be around these guys. I don't know these dudes. No, I've been with CJ Stroud and the Texans for the past couple of years, and before that, they had Diddy Watson. I'm not around JE5. I wonder what's different between him and Diddy Watson and CJ. Like, so I won't be around these guys if I was Laramie Tunsil. But hey, man, you want to go to U Street, live your best life, bro? I ain't gonna kill you for it. And that's for Marshawn. I know uh, reporter Willingham said that he was a cut candidate. I think I was kind of hyped. They weren't cutting Marshawn Lattimore. Stop. They
Hmm.
weren't cutting. They traded a third round pick for this man. They weren't cutting him. Stop. So I thought that was kind of cap, but whatever. What are your thoughts on what he said about B Rob and kind of not necessarily throwing JSM under the bus, but kind of saying that he needs to prove it before we could be out here trying to give up on Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, he said he does. You said that's what he said about B Rob.
He said that B Rob should be the RB1, and we kind of need to calm down Jacory a little bit. And it was like, oh, so we talk about a 7th round guy. Is this the guy you talking about replacing Brian Robinson? It's Brian freaking Robinson. All this other. I can put up the
Yeah,
clip. Give me a second.
yeah, so just while you pull it up, I can talk a little bit about it, man. I mean, I get it. I get it, right? It's a 7th round pick. And those guys aren't highly touted, right? don't think much of a 7th-round pick. Just a guy barely trying to scratch the surface of making a roster. Probably a high can't cut candidate, but that's where you have to do the homework. That's where you have to do the understanding of one, the position that the team is in terms of running back. Do they need running backs? In the case of the Washington Commanders, they probably didn't need a running back, but would like to have a better in terms of running back, in terms of extending the play and been having that home run ability that we lacked. And then also you gotta also look at the players and why he went in the 7th round. There's time and time again with so many talented players, especially this past draft, went later than expected, right? Even going back into the 1st round. So a guy like Ja'Cory Krosky-Murray, I think he suffered a lot from the fact that he didn't play last year due to eligibility issues. He played one game. So I think for sure, after looking at his tape, had he played his full season, he probably wouldn't have went in the 7th round. You know what I'm saying? But for the simple fact that he didn't, that's the reason why he was there as well. So I get his assessment in terms of, well, this is a rookie. We can't really put him over Brian Robinson just yet. However, Brian Robinson, in my opinion, is probably not going to be here next year, and he's not somebody that you say, hold on, wait, wow, we're talking about putting him over this guy. 'Cause he's not Saquon Barkley, he's not Jameer Gibbs, he's not Bijan Robinson, he's not one of these top backs in the league. So it's not like he's irreplaceable if a guy's having a damn good training camp in summer. So that's just my quick opinion on it.
I feel that too. I do feel that to a certain extent. I do feel like B Rob isn't irreplaceable, nothing like that. But I also want Ja'Cory to prove it too. Like, I'm not gonna just crown the kid or nothing like that. But I do feel where Lin is coming from a little bit. I also feel where you coming from too. Like, the kid has all the talent in the world to be that guy. He just has to go out there and show it. And I think he can. Can I find this damn clip? Where's it taking so long to find this truck? It's taking a while to find this truck. Oh, did he delete this truck? I'm trying to find it, but yeah, I get where he's coming from, though. To a certain extent, I do get where he's coming from, and I can't get mad at the way he does feel about this, but also, I'm not going to just completely dismiss JSM here, JCM. I think he can play some ball, and I do like what he brings to the table. But also, I do like B-Rob. I do like B-Rob. He might not be here next year. We'll see. He's playing for his NFL career at this point, and maybe he can show something that he hasn't shown his first 3 seasons, which is actually get 200 carries, actually not get hurt, and be consistent. Maybe he can in the contract season. We will see. But as of right now, he hasn't showed that. So I get both sides of the spectrum here. For sure. I really want to find this joint, bro, because he was going off, dog. He was going 8. I ain't gonna cap. Bro was going 8. He was irritated as hell about this. Yeah, I found it. Finally found the joint. Let's go ahead and look at it real quick before we get up out of here. I should probably listen for this if I started the stream, but because I ain't even feeling my best.
Take all the tweets I get, all the different folks I talk to. Everybody has written Brian Robinson off. Pre-draft, you all wanted to take a running back in round 1. You all wanted to go Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson. So, yes, this fan base, in my opinion, has 110% written off Brian Robinson Jr. You know what I say to that? You're a bunch of idiots. Tell Lou DiPietro, Metal Chris, to clip that off. Anybody writing Brian Robinson off, writing Brian Robinson off for the 2025 season is an idiot. That's how I feel about it. You know I don't like the name call, but this one's got me hot. Everybody and their mama, everywhere you turn in the draft, we need a home run hitter. We need a guy that can, take some of the pressure off of Jaden. We need to get more explosive. You know what we needed to do? We needed to do what the hell we did. And that's improve this offensive line. That's why the running game fell off of a damn cliff last year. The interior of the offensive line, Sam Cosmi, Nick Allegretti, Tyler Biotish, got their ass whipped down the stretch last year. Do I need to remind you all of the trip to New Orleans? Huh? Do I need to remind you all of that? Do I need to remind you all of the first Philadelphia Eagles matchup where Jalen Carter completely manhandled our offensive line? So before you start writing off Brian Robinson, think about some of the ancillary factors that contributed to his statistical drop-off. Acting like the guy is a charity case. You guys act like he's a D3 player. You act like he's a YMCA gym teacher. This is Brian freaking Robinson, people. I think he will be the leading rusher next year for the Washington Commanders. I don't know if he leads them in touchdowns. If you all don't know, I think Deebo Samuel comes in and has a pretty good year in the red zone and damn self. But yeah, I think Brian Robinson will be the leading rusher this year. I got people on social media adding me about Ja'Cory Krosky-Moret, a 7th-round running back who didn't even play last year. That's who you people are blowing up my mentions about when it comes to the running back position. We act as if Brian Robinson is completely fallen off the face of the earth. It's amazing. Mike Clay of ESPN, during his 2025 projections for the season, has Brian Robinson as the leading rusher and leading touchdown scorer for the Washington Commanders in 2025. I happen to agree with him. I know you all don't, though, because everyone in this fan base has written off Brian Robinson. It has been my biggest issue, my biggest gripe with this entire offseason, is people acting as if Brian Robinson forgot how to play football.
It's not hearing the clip. What are your thoughts on that clip?
So let me first start by saying this. I'm not one of those people that's writing off Brian Robinson. I think he got it a little misunderstood. People aren't writing off Brian Robinson in terms of just get him out of here, replace him. No, I guarantee you, if you ask every Washington Commanders fan about Brian Robinson in the backfield, they're going to say we want to add to what Brian Robinson's production already is. Because yes, Brian Robinson does not have that home run ability. He does not have that ability to take it 60 yards to the house, how every other team that we face on this upcoming schedule has a running back for the most part that can do that. Bijan Robinson, Ashton Gency, right? Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, shoot, even Tyrone Tracy. Like we were saying we're saying a revive of the running back position. It's not no longer a position where you could just put anybody back there and hope for success. So it's not that we want to replace Brian Robinson. It's we want to add to his production. He can be the short yardage back, wear a guy down, finish off drives in the red zone. But we need to have some type of speed and dynamic to that backfield that has been lacking over the years. So it's pairing them up, not replacing them. Then he goes in to say that Brian Robinson, a lot of the issues that the reason for the lack of success for Brian Robinson is the offensive line. Okay, you got a point there. Offensive line was not the best, especially down the stretch of the year with the injuries to Sam Cosmi and whatnot. But there were times I was at the Tennessee Titan game, the game where he actually played really well in. There were times where I'm looking at him, watching the game back, because I recorded most of it for a vlog, and I'm watching clips back, and I'm saying, B-Rob, you don't see that lane? B-Rob, you don't see that cutback lane? B-Rob, why are you running into the back of your running back, your lineman, excuse me. That Eagles game, you just got straight up manhandled. Jalen Carter just came in and took it out of your hands. You fumbled twice in that game. And there are countless other times in which Brian Robinson, in my opinion, lacks vision, lacks the speed, and lacks the I would say, yeah, vision and speed, and that I think and is needed at this level. Not to say he can't play. I definitely think he deserves to be on the roster. So about adding. And then he says people are blowing up my mentions about Ja'Cory Krosky-Murray. and he didn't play last year. Well, he didn't play because of eligibility issues. Had he played, he would have went higher than the 7th round. That's for one. And you turn on the film of Ja'Cory Krosky-Murt, you see how talented he is. He reminds me of a 2020 Antonio Gibson from the ability of to have burst to get through the hole and take it to the second level, to have the ability to be physical and withstand contact from the defender, keep his balance, cut back lanes, vision, everything is there. Hands, ran a wheel route down the sideline in the film that I watched today, was able to corral in a catch, had a touchdown on a pass catch back of the end zone, pure hands. So yes, Ja'Cory Krosky murdered the 7th round pick, but it doesn't matter which round you're picked. It's about the quality of player you're getting. And I guarantee you, had he played last season, he wouldn't have been in the position that he was in for Washington to get him. So I understand his points about people that are wanting to get rid of Brian Robinson. However, I don't think they want to get rid of him. They want to pair him with somebody that's going to be able to take the load off of him, but provide more of a downfield threat, 60-yard home run hitter kind of threat that is pretty much the new wave of the NFL. Again, the biggest one of them all, David. I was gonna call him David Robinson, David Montgomery, and Jameer Gibbs.
I agree with that. We need a light into his thunder, and we had that for with Austin Eckler, but Austin Eckler got hurt, and also Austin Eckler with the concussions. We don't know how long he got left to play football. We just don't. So we agree with adding a running back. I'm glad we waited when we did because
RaiseHail
we
and
had a
Patrick Roy.
situation. We had to go get a guy in the second round like a Travion Henderson, stuff like that.
That's a good pull right there. Evan Royce at number 22.
Yeah, Evan Royce. Yeah, that was a nice little duo for a little bit. The last running back. I if you want elite running back play, I get that, but I seen the Eagles go to Super Bowl 5 elite running back. I seen the Chiefs win a Super Bowl without one. It's not something I'm not geeking about, but we got elite quarterback play. That's all I'm geeking about. We got that, so we can compete with anybody. I ain't worried about that. Evan Royce and Roy Halou. I think Alpha Morris and Roy Halou was a nice little duo. And Robert Griffin III's first season too.
Dude, I think the tenure of Chris Thompson and Matt Jones and Robert Kelly and
Fat Rod.
all those other guys we had, man.
I mean, I miss CT though. CT was alright, man. CT was alright, my dog. I ain't gonna lie. People really going crazy about that OTA video. Well, yeah, I think that's pretty about it about tonight, bro. We rapped about everything. We talked about Leonard Willingham, about spazzing on everybody. We talked about the season, and I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for the 2025 season. And a lot of Eagles fans will keep bringing this 55-23 up, and we can't compete with these niggas for real. And that Eagle fan like LB saying, "Oh, y'all trash for real. Y'all not good. We taking a step back. Everything we miss the playoffs." And that guitar, y'all talk about. But then we got a shot. You know, we got 5. But we got a shot. Don't ain't worry about nobody. Actually, one more question. Do you think we still in for Trey Henderson or no?
No. I don't know. I think we're just gonna rock out what we got, to be honest with you. I think he's more of a trade deadline addition if he's still holding out by that time.
I can see that too. Yeah, I think we're gonna wait until trade deadline. Yeah, you see what he's gonna do. But so we can find you at 1, we can get up out of here, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on as always. Look forward to doing these more often. You can find me at Juan Gotti Talking Sports on YouTube. I'm on the road to 10,000 over there. Also, Juan Gotti Talking Sports on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can find me on all those platforms, same tag as well. Thank you so much, Tone, for having me on as always, and I enjoyed my time, Brody.
So, We get contract prediction on Terry. I will answer this when we get out of here. I got 3 years, $93 million, and $85 million guaranteed.
So I put him right. I put him right above DK, right under like CD Lamb. So I say 33 is the number that I wouldn't exceed. Um, I would like to try to get him for that 32.5 range, but 33, he's well deserved. So let me see. 33. 33 a year. Let me see. Mm. So if I'm giving him 33 a year divided by 3 years, what's that, like 99? Or what? Like what's
Yeah.
because what is let me see. I gotta look at their contracts right quick. Top paid receivers.
I can't get no.
Uh yeah, DK sitting at 33. So I probably say like 33.5.
I thought DK was getting 30.
So you throw DK 30.
I thought he had 30 this season.
No, I say 33. CeeDee Lamb 34, Justin Jefferson 35, Jamar Chase 40, Amon-Ra 30, AJ Brown 32. So maybe 33.5 is where he probably is wanting. I would love to try to get him for that same amount as AJ Brown. But I'm gonna say kill him 33 a year for 3 years.
Well, I guess you're probably right though. That's fine. Yeah, that's how I'm all right. Yeah, that's how I'm all right. He's at 33. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do for tonight live. Hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Juan for being on tonight. Appreciate Juan. And just go subscribe to the channel. If y'all want more Juan guy and tech content, let me know. We can set that up more often. We started the guy in tech challenge, didn't work out. We got too many things going on, but y'all want more collabs from both of us on each other's channel, let us know, and we can make that happen. Love y'all. Y'all be easy. And we'll catch y'all next one. Peace.
Peace.